Good day everyone, maadjong adlaw kaninyo. So today we are going to tackle ecoliteracy and sustainable development. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Las Alasun C. de los Reyes, the first presenter, and I am from English 1B. To begin with, let me explain the concept exploration. They simply discussed that sometimes natural disasters happen, which can cause a lot of damage and harm to people. And because of that, governments and schools are working on plans and programs to help people get ready for disasters. Schools are teaching students about the environment and how important it is to protect it. They are also adding this topic to their lessons so that everyone learns how to take care of the environment better. To better understand ecoliteracy and sustainable development, here are some perspectives that we can analyze. First is the ecoliteracy as an educational imperative by Wall 2017. This perspective emphasizes the importance of ecoliteracy in education, viewing it as a fundamental aspect of learning. Ecoliteracy involves understanding ecological systems and how society interacts with nature, which is considered essential knowledge for individuals. It suggests that the basic principles of ecoliteracy serve as a foundation for learning valuable lessons from nature, which can be used to reform and improve society. On the other hand, David Orr 1992 stated that by failing to include ecological perspectives in education, students are taught that ecology is unimportant. So, David Orr, mas nagpo-focus siya sa consequences na pwedeng mangyari when they neglect the ecological perspectives in education. He argues that when ecological education is not included, students may perceive ecology as unimportant, as what he said nga. It can lead to a lack of awareness and action regarding environmental issues. It simply implies that if the students, kung hindi mo open yung mind nila pagdating sa environmental issues, then expect that they will never understand the importance of ecology. Orr and Capra 1990 coined the idea of ecological literacy as creating a new emphasis on the need for education to integrate understanding of the interdependence between natural processes and human ways of life. Talk about ecological literacy. This means understanding how nature and human life are connected. So, for example, think about how trees give us oxygen, and in return, we exhale carbon dioxide that the trees also needs. And that shows the interdependence between nature and human life. So, ecoliteracy is about knowing how nature works, like how animals, plants, water, and air all play a part in keeping the earth healthy. It's like understanding the big puzzle of nature and how everything fits together to sustain life. So dito naman sa perspective ni Capra 2003, gonna explain na lang ng diretso. Para sa kanya, ecological literacy means understanding how ecosystems are organized to support life on Earth, and it is the first step towards sustainability. So just like understanding how a forest ecosystem works, yung mga puno, they produce oxygen. Those animals, they contribute to nutrient cycling, and those soil microbes that breaking down organic matter to maintain soil fertility. So this knowledge help us appreciate the balance of life within the forest and understand the importance of preserving it. The next step is the eco-design. This is where we use ecological knowledge to redesign technologies and social system to work better with nature. One of the example of eco-design ay yung tinatawag na solar panels. They are mostly ginagamit sa mga places na masyadong lack of electricity. And implementing solar panels can generate renewable energy. And yung iba, mas nagre-rely talaga sila sa solar panels kasi mas nakakatipid sila. Now, let's move on to sustainability. What is sustainability? While sustainability is about humans being able to survive over time, it is qualitative because we want a good quality of life, but it's also quantitative because we can measure things like natural resources and ecological capacity. On the other hand, because of lack of ecological understanding, maraming mga practices na nakakadulot ng masama sa ating environment. And the ecological literacy, they aims to change this by teaching us to think in a more integrated and sustainable way, leading to better ways of living that support both human needs and the environment. So in overall, sustainability is about balancing human well-being with ecological limits, which can be measured both qualitative and quantitative. Ang ecological literacy ang pwedeng maging susi to promote integrated thinking and ethical practices that needed for sustainable living. So it is important to have eco-literacy sa education for us to have knowledge or learning kung paano natin ma-preserve yung environment na meron tayo. Additionally, sustainability is like maintaining the ecological balance between environment and the people, no? So now, without further ado, let's move on to ecologically literate person and society. Tinatawag na ecologically literate person ang isang tao kapag ang kanyang mindset ay naiintindihan niya yung mga environmental realities by specifically identifying the cause and effect relationship. So, kapag isa kang ecologically literate person, bago mo gagawin ng isang bagay is pag-iisipan mo muna kung ano yung magiging epekto nito in the near future. Ang mga ecologically literate individual, they have a clear perception and understanding of a system's dynamics and ruptures, as well as its past and alternate future trajectories. He or she understands the complexity of studied objects and phenomena and allowing for more enlightened decision making. Ang ecologically literate society naman, it is one that understands and appreciates the importance of environment in sustaining life, and it promotes sustainability, katulad nga nung unexplain ko kanina, by encouraging behaviors and practices that protect natural resources. It highlights the interconnectedness of all living things and the impact of human actions on the environment. So, it advocates of ecological literacy that believe na kapag in-educate yung mga individuals and yung mga communities about sa mga principles na ito, it believes na we can work together for a sustainable future where both humans and nature can thrive together. We have ways to develop ecoliteracy in school. Number one is to develop empathy for all forms of life. This is by recognizing the common needs that we share with all organisms. We can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life of other life forms and to feel concern about their well-being and act on that concern. Number two is to embrace sustainability as a community practice. So, by learning the wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are interdependent, students are inspired to consider the role of interconnectedness within their communities and see the value in strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. Number three is to make the invisible visible. So if we strive to develop ways of living that are more life-affirming, we must find ways to make visible the things that seem invaluable by using web-based tools such as Google Earth, Google Guide, and Food Educate apps. So mostly, tayong mga estudyante, we feel like we are incapable of doing something good sa environment natin. But the thing is, maraming mga applications, maraming mga platforms that na pwede nating gamitin to gain something sa environment natin. There's a lot of advocacy na pwede nating ibahagi gamit yung mga apps na yun. Okay, so number four, we have anticipate unintended consequences. So teachers can teach students strategies for anticipating unintended consequences. This include precautionary principle that when an activity threatens to have a damaging impact on the environment, human health, precautionary actions should be taken. Another strategy is to shift from analyzing a problem by reducing it to its isolated components, to adopting a systems thinking perspective that examines connections and relationships among various components of the problem. Number five is to understand how nature sustains life. So, eco-literate individuals understand how nature supports life by learning three principles. Number one is to recognize the complexity and interconnectedness of all living organisms in specific environments. Number two, understanding systems operate at different scales. And number three, living in a way that meets present needs while preserving nature's ability to sustain life for future generations. So, ito na yung pag-i-improve ng isang society without really harming the natural resources. Moving on, here's the 7 environmental principles of nature according to Butler 2012. Number 1, nature knows best. So people need to understand nature and have to abide by the rules imposed in essence. One must not go against the natural processes if he or she would like to ensure a continuous and steady supply of resources. So instead, sa pagsusunog, why not nahayaan na lang ma-dispose yung mga basura na nabubulok. And para dun sa mga basura na hindi nabubulok, maraming mga way para mapakinabangan pa ulit yung mga yun. Number 2, all forms of life are important. So we need to understand that each organism, they play a fundamental role in natural. So therefore, all living things must be considered as invaluable instruments in maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Number 3, everything is connected to everything else. So in an ecosystem, all components interact with each other to ensure that the system is sustainable, of which any outside interference may result in an imbalance and deterioration of the system. Number 4, everything changes. So you must rethink your relationship with the environment. Kung ikaw yung person na wala masyadong pakialam sa paligid mo and tapon ka lang ng basura kahit saan, then you can use any platforms para matuldukan yun for the positive changes, kumbaga. Number 5, everything must go somewhere. Since waste may go back to one's own backyard in some other forms, it is important to become aware of the different types of waste. Classify and segregate those that are toxic and potentially hazardous. So, that's why meron tayong biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and yung recycle. Number 6, ours is a finite Earth. Awareness of the Earth's limited resources leads to a conscious effort to change one's attitude and initiative to recycle them. We need to understand that Earth is not a permanent home and those resources na nakukuha natin is hindi siya unlimited. Kaya it's very important to recycle everything na pwede pang i-recycle. Lastly, nature is beautiful and we are stewards of God's creation. Being the most intelligent and being gifted with a reason, humans are capable of controlling and taking care of the creation in their own advantage. So this is to remind us na tayong may mas kakayahan or mas may karapatan sa mundo. So why not we use it in a good way na makakasave sa ating environment?
Good day, I am Jana Bedaud, and now let's jump into the 7 environmental principle of nature. So the first one is nature knows best. Nature operates by its own rules, and we human, must respect and adhere to these natural processes to ensure a sustainable supply of our resources. For example, instead of attempting to control a natural waterways with dams, working with natural floodplains, it can help mitigate flooding while preserving the ecosystem. So we should not be harsh on the environment and act as if we should be the one who rules for them. So number 2 is all forms of life are important. So we should always imagine, or we should always understand that every organism, no matter how small it is, no matter how big, it plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystem. So we all know that since high school, protecting the biodiversity, such as preserving the habitats for endangered species like the bees, it helps sustain ecosystem and ultimately benefits human societies. So number 3 is everything is connected to everything else. So in an ecosystem, no, every component interacts with each other. So this create a delicate balance. Disrupting one aspect can have cascading effect throughout the entire system. So for instance, overfishing can lead to an imbalance in marine food webs, impacting both predator and the prey species. Next, number 4, everything changes. So recognizing the dynamic nature of ecosystem, we human must adapt the relationship with the environment, no, by embracing the technologies which is very relevant today, and the practices that promote a positive change to our environment. No, transitioning, like for example, transitioning to a renewable energy sources like solar and wind power can help reduce reliance on fossil fuels and mitigate the climate change that we are experiencing in today, very hot temperature. Next is everything must go somewhere. Waste management is a crucial or very important, as all waste ultimately returns to the environment in some forms. No, all of our waste is like, affecting the environment and also affecting us humans. No, proper waste disposal and recycling practices, such as separating the hazardous materials from regular waste, it helps minimize environmental pollution and protect our ecosystem. Number 6 is ours is a finite earth. So earth resources are limited, very limited, and human must acknowledge this fact by adopting sustainable practices like recycling and conservation. For example, reducing water consumption and implementing a water-saving technologies can help conserve these finite resources for future generations. So last, nature is a beautiful and we are stewards of God's creation. So as an intelligent being, we humans have a responsibility to take care for and protect the natural world. No, by acting as a stewards of the environment, individuals can help preserve its beauty and ensure its resources are available for our future generation. We should always consider them. No, this can involve actions such as supporting conservation efforts and advocating for policies to promote environmental sustainability. Towards a green school and education for sustainable development. School plays a great role in development of academics, but also environmental ethics and care for nature among students. So school serves as one of the institution not only for academic, not only for the academic development, but also for instilling environmental ethics and fostering a care for nature among the students. It is imperative that the school environment actively encourages, support, and nurture the students' capacities for environmental awareness and sustainability, and also for change. No, this entails integrating education for sustainable development into the curriculum and instructional practices. So the concept of green school emerged in Europe during 1990s, coinciding with the growing recognition of the urgent need for environmental action. The Rio Earth Summit of 1992 highlighted the necessities, our need to address human impacts on the environment across all areas of society, because we all know that we human are one of the contributor of the changes na nararanasan natin in today. No? Subsequently, the World Summit on Sustainable Development, or the WSSD, in Johannesburg in 2002 served as a catalyst for shifting educational paradigm for merely educating about the environment to educating for sustainability. In this shift, it reflected a global acknowledgement of what is the importance of sustainable development, in which it emphasized meeting the present needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. And we also need to understand that throughout this period, there was an increasing concern over the rampant misuse and abuse of our natural resources in the pursuit of development. So it leads to potential threats to the future. We are really into the future, no? Consequently, there arose a pressing needs for deeper understanding and taking an action to address the environmental changes that we are facing today, that the planet is facing today. The United Nations launched this Decade of Education for Sustainable Development, or the DESD, in 2005. The aim was to integrate the principle, values, and the practices of sustainable development into all of the aspects of education and to the learning. In this integration sought to promote behaviors conducive to creating a more sustainable future, encompassing environmental integrity, economic viability, and social justice for present and future generation. So, a key objective of UNDSD was to enhance the quality of teaching and learning for education for sustainable development, or yung ating ESD. This necessitated a fundamental reorientation of formal education, including teaching the methodologies, learning the approaches, and the assessment practices to better align with sustainability principles and objectives. Next, essential aspect of green school environment. So we have here clean, healthy, protective, and green surroundings. So this is one of the aspects, no, that a green school environment. So central to the green school ethos are the elements and practices that promote environmental sustainability and sensitivity through various means. This includes, we are going to advocate for judicious resources utilization, maintaining a clean and green surroundings, and fostering a physical, mental, and emotional well-being of students. A green school ensures a safe and healthy learning environment, free from hazards and conducive to learning. So the green school promotes, or like giving us opportunity to engage, no, to one another, that can be very beneficial for our environment. So we have here the cleanup drive, no, that's like a participatory doing. So it teaches that the children must think critically to what is the main help, or what will be the help that we can offer for the environment to lessen the pollution, to have a green school or a safe environment for learning. So key aspect of green school environment include yun nga yung ating cleanliness, health promotion, safety measures, and integration with nature. So in this, by immersing the students in yung mga participatory and collaborative learning experiences, Green School empower the school community to work together towards a sustainable future. The principles of a green school are underscored by these three core precepts. So, number one, learning about the environment. So, in here, it's focusing on the knowledge acquisition and the understanding of our environmental issues. Number two, learning through the environment. So, in here, it's emphasizing the experiential learning within and beyond the classroom. Number three, learning for the environment. So in here, it cultivating a sense of responsibility and stewardship towards the environment. So now let's proceed to understanding the green curriculum. So number one, environment is encompassing, multidisciplinary, and dynamic. So this means that the environment is not just limited to the natural world, but it also includes yung social, economic, political, and technological dimension. So for example, in our economics, no, we are going to analyze the cost-benefit analysis of sustainable development projects. No? Yun na, yung in technology, we are going to investigate how yung advancement in technology can help us mitigate environmental issues such as yung pollutions or resource depletion. So it really helps, no? It is so helpful. So number 2, holistic view of the environment. A green curriculum recognizes the connection of all aspects of the environment, and it shows us, or it aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of how the world operates, of how human action impact it, and the consequences of those actions that we are going to do in the future, or yeah, yung mga issues na natatanggap natin, or yung mga problems na nagigain natin after natin gumawa ng something to our environment. For example, studying the water cycle in science class and discussing how human activities like deforestation can disrupt it, leading to issues like yung droughts or yung ating floods. Next, number 3. In this addresses sustainability concern. In these aspects, it involves considering various sustainability concerns such as conservation of our natural resources, yung cultural heritage preservation, equity and justice, and the connection between different aspects of the environment. For example, learning about traditional farming practices in history class and discussing their role in preserving our biodiversity and cultural heritage. So next, number 4, teaching learning approach. A green curriculum. So it says that a green curriculum encourage an inquiry-based approach where all of the students are given the time and space so as they can explore a different kinds or different images like that, or a different environment, and make connection between them. For example, engaging a project-based learning activities where students research environmental issues and propose solutions to that problem. So next, number 5. So it says that mutual concerns of teachers and students. In a green curriculum, environmental education is not just the responsibility of our teachers, but also a shared concerns of the students, who are encouraged to actively participate in learning and taking action to address the environmental challenges that we are facing. For example, encouraging students-led discussions and debates on environmental topics during class. We can have a lot of examples that can incorporate for us to for the students to learn about the helpfulness and significance of a green school. So by incorporating in these aspects into the curriculum, the educator can help build or help to have deeper understanding of the environmental issues and empower the students to become responsible students, a responsible human being of the environment. And that would be all. Thank you.